everyone. Welcome back to yet another episode of Kathor Vaani, brought to you by the Student Alumni Committee of IIM Rohtak. Today, we have with us Mr. Ganesh Babu. He completed his MBA from our college in 2013. He is also an alumnus of Madras Institute of Technology, Chennai, where he pursued his bachelor's in engineering in aeronautical stream. He had started his career journey with HDFC as a management training, and now he is currently working as a regional head over there. Thank you, sir, for being our guest today. Handing it over to my teammates.
What does a typical day at HDFC look like for you?
So typical day, regional head means what happens, I run a P&L. So I am responsible for units, more for the budgeting. From budgeting, I'll be doing, I'm also responsible for the profitability of that unit. So I have some team members reporting to me, some 5 members reporting to me. So I am in a business called wealth management. So what we do, we manage high net worth individuals and corporate treasury money, and we generate income for the bank. So this is what we basically do. So generally, since we are from a bank, we have a lot of compliance things. So we start our day by 8:30 with a research chat because we deal with markets. So we discuss how the global markets have closed the previous day and any macro update, any new update happens. So we'll be discussing that on by 8:30. Then we will plan our day. The meetings more or less will go till 9:30. Then generally we will have a client meetings. So in a day, maximum 1 or 2 client meetings, and we'll have a lot of channel meetings. So within bank, we will be meeting different departments. And even we will be meeting a lot of people from the product side, more like a mutual fund, portfolio management services. So we'll be meeting a lot of people from the mutual fund side. So this is how a typical day looks like for us. So more or less 1 or 2 meetings with the customer. Then part of a process. So we may have to spend 1 or 1.5 hours in the process.
Okay, so the next question is, what is the most rewarding or enjoyable part of your job?
Okay. See, what happens, what we do, we handle this private wealth. Okay. So private wealth is always a very high involvement for any human being. So your parents or for anybody, whatever is their life saving, that is the money which we are managing. See, physical assets we don't manage, but we manage the financial assets. So we get to know the customer really well, and the customer will also be open with us. Okay, so what happens in this job, I get to learn from lots of people's experience. Right? See, I handle an 80-year-old guy, so I handle a 40-year-old, 50-year-old guy. I'll be handling an entrepreneur. I'll be handling some chief executives in some big corporates. But most of them would be at least made in their life. They were they would have proven themselves in the life. That's why they are customers.
So that is something very unique that you told us. So the next question is, what is your perspective regarding the privatization of Indian Bank?
See, government should not be in any business, to be very frank. That is not right if you really look at it. So there is a lot of conflict of interest, right? So if you take SBI, so see, if you really look at any corporate in a free market, it's built in such a way the corporate would be run by the managers to maximize the value for the shareholders. Okay, this is what you guys will also be reading about corporate governance, everything and all. So technically, that's the thing. The guy who put the money, right? See, it's more comes from the property rights. Whoever have invested the money, he is taking the risk, so the benefit should go to him. Okay. When a government is in a business, so government has different priorities. So the government's priority is not the benefit of the industry or benefit of the customer or not even the benefit of the shareholders. The government interest is in control. Okay. So I think government should not be in any business, if you ask me. So in any, you guys would be reading in economics and all, right? So you will also study when taxes put on any system, how it brings down the overall good to the society. So every intervention by the government also, right? A regulatory intervention or more being in business, that takes us back. Okay, so it will not be a free market. So they are hampering the free market forces. Technically, government should not be in the business. I think every government knows it, but they don't want to do it because of their political reasons. So, and they too don't know how to run a company, right? Like, see, when things goes bad, Air India went bad. They held it onto it, like, for what, 10 years, and they lost so much of money. So, see, they don't know, like, when you don't know, better don't be there. Like, that's a right thing to do. But they will not privatize. So, government will not privatize. So, it's a very, very, unpopular move if any government is doing. They will let this PSU banks die, gradually. They will not hire back. They will not capitalize the banks. So when any bank goes bad, they will merge it with some other bigger bank, and they'll make the bank already the bank's numbers of PSU banks are coming down. So you don't have Bank of Maharashtra, Bank of Mysore, no such things are there. So eventually, I think the PSU banks will die. That's what the government is doing. So it's again a 20-year process. It's already started. It will go on for another 10, 15 years.
Oh, yes. So what are the challenges you have faced in your career till now?
All the companies, right? As I told you, learning that the bigger picture was a very important challenge for me. Because you will say culture is bad, industry is not doing. See, everything comes around the value creation. Okay. So the company creates value for the customer. So the company makes money. And when an employee adds value to the company, so the employee makes money. Okay, this is a very, very simple process. So you really need to understand how is your, whatever, see, you have a day, I can do so many things in a day. Whatever things I do, which one, adds more value or, to my company, or which one should I be prioritizing? So that is one thing which I learned. In fact, that helped me also to grow faster in my organization.
Yes, so what advice will you give to someone who wants to start their career in the field of banking?
If you take banking, so I am in a team called private banking. It's called wealth management. Then there is a corporate treasury. Then there is a corporate banking. Banking itself is a very, very huge sector. Okay. What I would recommend, see, if I were you, right, I have now 9 years of experience. If I go back and study in IIM, so you better focus on things which you like. Okay, see, it will be easy for you to understand. For an example, so I'm an engineer. So today, somebody talks about, disruptive technology, cost curve, declining cost curves, S-curve adoption and all. I'll understand it much better. Okay. Likewise, everyone will have your strength areas. Okay. So what happened in my MBA? So I had my strength areas. I had my, areas where I'm weak. So I was trying to work on my areas where I'm weaker and try to come to at par. Okay. But that's a bad strategy. The best strategy is to work on your strengths, and you become completely what to say, you become so no competition should be able to catch you. So if you focus on your strength, that can be achieved. So if you ask me, that is the thing you should be doing. So like you are saying, right, you don't set up your mind stating, I want to go to banking, I want to go to sales, I want to go to strategy. Don't have anything, because to be very frank, you know nothing. Just have an open mind, learn everything, and you will not know what job you will be getting by the. See, because I know the guys who wanted to go into finance went into sales. In fact, I wanted to go into sales. Right now, I'm in sales, but in the bank. So you will have no idea of what's going to come to you. So at least just enjoy the moment. One good thing is you focus on your strength areas, rather than trying to come to at par with your peers on your weak areas, right? You leave the weak areas, or wherever you are strong, there you focus. And you don't think about this industry and all. You think about learning something.
Sir, so we will continue with informal segment.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So my first question will be, if you could only have 3 things in your bucket list, what would they be?
Me, I have so many things in my bucket list, so it's not very difficult to put it as 3. Bucket list, you all can have a priority matrix which you really want in life. So see, more than your money or how successful you are in the peer group, all those things, it's more how happy you are is what matters in the long run. Elon Musk, right? So for him, that is his vision is gold, right? Was the topmost than anything else. Even during the COVID time, he wanted people to come to the country. So like, you have things which is okay for you and you go by that. So what happens when you will take a right decision?
You miss the most about Kathor life?
Kathor life, actually, see, more that hostel life was very, very good. So the time we spent in hostel, in fact, like we were in that MTU University campus. So when we were there, there was no campus. So hostel life, and that's what I'm telling you, right? Like, the time I interacted with my batchmates, that is the one I treasure most. More that times where we play table tennis, or like, where we just like chat, or we go for a midnight this thing, we go for a swimming, so we play games. That is after colleges. So that is the best time, like, I had it there. So and of course the winter, because we don't have winter like that in Chennai. So after the 2 years, I came to Chennai. So more my batchmates, and that moments are the things which I miss. So if I have to, like, if I have to say something which I miss, that's the thing I miss.
Okay. So what are the best things you learned being a Kathor?
Being a Kathor, I don't know, like, see, as I told you, right, like what happened, I'll tell you, I don't know whether you people had that or not. So I was a very, very, like, maybe top of my class student in my school. Okay. Then like I had a very good score. Then I was almost a similar in my UG, where like, people kind of say knows that like, okay, this guy knows well, or like, he knows how to do better. More than like how other perceived, I had a very good confidence on myself. When I joined IIM, so IIM, it will throw a boomerang to you. So what will happen when I see people, I'll feel like, a lot of people are much better than me. Okay, so I had an insecurity during my college days in the first year and all. Then I worked very hard to, like, kind of overcome that insecurity by coming to upper. So my like, I was telling you about that strength, weakness and all, right? So again, I was doing the wrong thing because I was focusing more on my weakness and trying to come at par with my, like, peer group rather than focusing on my strength. So those things, right, more personal, like, those things, then I learned what needs to be focused. Then I learned how to be, like, comfortable with myself, how to be happy with myself, and how to push myself forward. See, maybe you may be in a shit situation right now, but like whatever action you do, that will lead to the future. So wherever you are today, that is because of your past, whatever actions you did in your past. Whatever you are going to be there in the future is dependent on today's actions. Then I started focusing on my actions. Then I really, like, learned where to let go, like, which one to really focus on, which one I should not be really be, like, obsessed about. So I think as a person, that was a very, very good learning for me.
Okay. So any moment that made you happy in Rohtak? Any specific moment?
Yeah, like lots of moments here. That's what, like, we celebrate birthdays. So lots of moments here. Like any college, you will really treasure those moments. So even in winter, we come out of this thing. We will, like, all will, that hostel, outside the hostel, we come and, like, sit on the sun. Everybody will be sitting on the ground only. So just reading newspaper and talking. And at that time, we didn't have the smartphones. So, like, even WhatsApp was not there. So only laptop was the only this thing. So we were still like, doing a human to human interaction and all. Now it would be very different, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah. So last question. Any song that reminds you of Rohtak?
Nasuruddin Shah's movie. Nasuruddin Shah and Vidya Balan and all would be there.
Acha.
Ah, Dil Toh Bacha Hai Ji. Yeah, Dil Toh Bacha. So that song, yeah. Because in fact I sang once, I remember, if I remember correctly. Once with to my other like my roommate. My roommate was from Punjab, so he was from Chandigarh. So even that was also a good experience, because still I was in Chennai. Like, we have a very homogeneous crowd. There, like, you will have people from everywhere, like, all throughout India. So
We'll continue with rapid fire
it
round.
sounds like a reality TV.
Okay, the first word is Kathor.
See, Kathor is a term, like, we only found that term. Just like, we just like, it's a reverse of Rohtak, and we gave ourselves a name. So see, the good thing when you are the second batch, first batch and all, lots of this legacy, like, would be created by us. So Kathor was like, our batch only, we only created this term called Kathor.
Favorite hangout place in Rohtak?
So there was one night time that Maggie Wala was there. I mean that one PG medical college is there now. What is that place called? I think in Rohtak has one medical college where the PG is very famous, and it's very near to that MDU campus. I don't even remember that. So they have a small canteen. So that's the place where we go in the midnight to have.
Okay. Next word is free riders.
Free riders. Free riders is like, so we do this like whenever we have a presentation or group thing, right? There will be a lot of free riders will be there. So, but that's a part of the thing here, like, sometimes somebody not involving themselves is also a very, very good thing for the overall group. So there'll be a lot of this free riders, politics, everything would be there. But so there, like, a lot of people will come, they'll sit, like, they'll do nothing. Yeah, that's what comes to my mind.
Okay. Then presentations.
Presentations. Actually, presentations also. So I learned, maybe I did my first or maybe second presentation only in Rohtak. So I learned to do a presentation to a group of people, like, Shakespeare and all went away only in Rohtak. You would be doing so many of presentations.
All right. So thank you, Ganesh, for taking time from your busy schedule and joining with us today. We are grateful for having you as our guest of the day. It was a great pleasure learning and listening from your experiences. And thank you once again. And for more such engaging sessions of Kathor Vaani, stay tuned. We'll be back soon.